Hey everyone, this is Revan, otherwise known as Cosmic Alignment, and this is going to be a video about this current Sun transit in Aquarius that began on the 20th of January 2019 and that will end on the 18th of February 2019. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the current positions of Saturn and Uranus, specifically because these two planets, these two collective archetypes and energies, planetary bodies, are said to rule the archetype energy of Aquarius. So by looking at the current positions of these two planets, we'll gain an understanding as to how this energy of Aquarius is being played out and expressed within the collective and individually in 2019. So if you're into that type of thing, I'm glad you're tuned in, and let's see what's going on with the collective archetype of Aquarius. All right, so I'm gonna break off this video into a couple parts. First one being just generally about the archetype and the symbology behind Aquarius, and then Saturn and Uranus and why they rule Aquarius. And then I wanted to look at Saturn and Uranus as of 2019. And then at the end, synthesize, what it all translates to or could translate to. The symbol of Aquarius is that of these streams, these waves, right? These waves or these streams are the waters or the streams of knowledge from the universal mind. The other symbol of Aquarius is a man carrying an urn with water, pouring it into a river. How does that make sense? Well, he's sharing the water that he's collected with his people, with the collective, with the community, with the rest of the population, with the public. This is Aquarius energy. The humanitarian, the progressive scientist, the one that looks to work almost within structure, within Saturn, within society and culture, but also wants to revolutionize and sees a new vision and sees a new way of doing things and wants to implement that. This is a progressive intellectual. This very, almost very rigid and structured personality, but also can be eccentric, erratic, can be, have this impulsive knee-jerk reaction to just rebel against, anybody defining them in any which way. This is Aquarius energy. And, to understand the need, the evolutionary phase, the evolutionary need and desire of Aquarius energy is to understand that in Aquarius, we're learning to liberate ourselves from arbitrary self-definitions. We're liberating ourselves from conditionings from the past, from our early childhood, from the status quo. We're learning to discover something unique about ourselves, to be able to give ourselves the freedom to be unique and completely different and completely alien to those surroundings. This is why Aquarius energy is usually, felt as being different. For anybody with moon or any placements in Aquarius, you guys know, that energy always feels like you're an outsider, like you're an observer, like you're different from the rest. Yeah, because Aquarius energy by definition is something incredibly unique and individual to that person. And this is Aquarius energy. Now, the energies, the archetypes that back up and animate this Aquarius energy is Uranus and Saturn. So Saturn is structure, law, natural law. The cross above the half crescent of the moon, the personality. So it correlates to karma, responsibilities, dharma, our duties, or the things that we have to answer to in this lifetime. It is the law of the four elements that we have to abide to while in this vessel, in this human form, in this ego and personality, i.e. reflector or vessel of spirit or the soul within. So that's Saturn energy, and it seems more natural that it rules a Capricorn, right? Like Capricorn wants to work within society and culture, wants to work within the status quo, wants to succeed in the status quo. Aquarius energy isn't satisfied with just that. Aquarius energy is dissatisfied with just following the status quo. It's like we outgrow that status quo, I don't know, that false reality. That we don't want to just play the role and go through the motions. and succeed just to succeed. Aquarius energy is like, you know, I want to do something that makes me feel free and liberated. I want to feel like I'm being myself and not some, you know, definition that's arbitrary, that's imposed by some outside external factor, whether it's parents or, you know, my social group or work or whatever you might identify with that's, you know, in some way relevant to your conditioning or your past. Being defined or being limited by that is, in Aquarius, like in this Aquarius phase, like very, I don't know, annoying, very, you know, just, we're done with it. Like, we want out, we want to be free, we want to be liberated. There's a huge dissatisfaction. So Aquarius energy wants to work with Saturn, works with Saturn, is ruled by Saturn, right? It's like an advanced Capricorn, you can say. Sorry, Capricorn. And, you know, it's just the truth. Sorry. But hey, by the way, Pisces is the all in all. That one contains all. So, you know, just saying Aquarius. Aquarius is also ruled not just by this, you know, this archetype, this planetary body that correlates to the natural law, to our responsibilities in this life, but also correlates to Uranus. Uranus correlates to the universal mind. This is the one mind that we all reflecting or picking up ideas and messages from. Some esoteric wisdom here. So Mercury is correlated to the mind, to the intellect, right? The reasoning, our thinking, our data processing, right? Our cognition. Mercury is said to be the lower octave of Uranus. Uranus is the universal mind. So think of it like your mind, your brain is like an antenna, like a satellite, you know, picking up signals from the universal mind and aligning your mind, your thinking with the universal channels, these streams that correlate to the symbol of Aquarius. And this is why Aquarius is so innovative, creative, revolutionary, and just always comes up with breakthroughs. Why? Because they're channeling from the universal mind. We all know, you know, some of us that, I don't know, study stuff like this, you know that, you know, all ideas, all inventions, they're out there in some universe. They already exist within some plane, right? Like, there's nothing new that we're going to discover. It already exists somewhere, right? So Aquarius channels and, you know, connects to that frequency and channels these ideas from the universal mind. This is Aquarius energy. It's like, it's a scientist that learns the theory and the structure, but not just to follow it and to abide by it, but to redo it in their own vision and in their own way, and in their own unique way, see something else that can be added that can make it even more special, that can make it even something more. This is Uranus energy, wanting that breakthrough, freedom, liberation from some old definition. This is a shedding from the past, Aquarius energy. So this is why Aquarius is both ruled by Saturn, natural law, structure, you know, societal, you know, customs, like the things that we all know we should do by societal standards and not do. And, you know, Aquarius is that revolutionary energy, that genius within, that, you know, we only reach when we really follow our own path and our own individuality. And tapping into that, in being able to tap into that energy in Aquarius, we can tap into what makes us special. And then we can connect with like-minded individuals and create networks of people, subgroups in our culture, create new subcultures in our subgroups in our culture that, you know, are just birthing of something completely new in our current age, in our current culture. So this is Aquarius energy. Just generally Aquarius and how it's correlated to Saturn and Uranus. Okay, so Saturn, Pluto, South Node, all being in Capricorn, in my opinion, kind of looks like a whole lot of transformation, right? Like, what is Pluto? Death, rebirth, transformation, the underworld. In evolutionary astrology, it correlates to the soul and the desires of the soul. That's why wherever Pluto is at in your chart will reflect an area of gravitation and where there's a lot of deep emotional either trauma or compulsion. There's just a lot of emotional gravitation towards that area because it reflects the desires of the soul or the underworld. So that's Pluto. What other energy within astrology, within this language, pertains and indicates transformation? Right, so South Node reflects the subconscious attitudes that we're learning to let go as a collective from our subconscious. This is why it pertains to the moon. Think of the moon like a pendulum, you know, it ebbs and flows. The South Node is our karmic past. North Node is our evolutionary path. In South Node, Capricorn, let's just say the Capricorn archetype turned negative, is not just about wanting to manifest and control the elements to create a reality that, you know, correlates to its own visions and philosophies of life, i.e. Capricorn evolving out of Sagittarius, but is this abuse and domination, you know, energy. Is this dominant, powerful, hungry, you know, just fucking, I don't know, really old, rigid Saturn energy. This is the energy of like the character in the movies that like will go through anything and everything to get power. Will kill, will steal, will cheat, just to gain influence and gain power and just control and domination over everybody around it. This is Capricorn South Node energy with Saturn, the status quo, natural law, correlates to the customs and culture and society, so our norms. You know, being right next to the South Node and Pluto in Capricorn correlates that our structure as a society, our structure as a culture is breaking down and going through its own evolution right now. You know, it's like in a state of flux, and this isn't like it's been for a week or two or will be for the next month or two. This has been going on since Pluto has been in Capricorn, and will go on until it leaves Capricorn in 2023, and then we'll finally move into Aquarius. So this is the energy of Saturn, you know, a breaking down of structure and culture and society norms. Uranus, being right in between the lunar nodes in Aries, you know, reflects being like on the fence, being on the fence in terms of our evolution. So how does this correlate to Aquarius? This correlates to Aquarius because Aquarius looks to work within structure, society, and culture to manifest their ideas. Society and culture is going through transformations, evolution, death, and rebirth. You know, society as we know it, culture as we know it, is changing month by month, year by year, dramatically, and is being compounded every year. We're watching it, right? So Aquarius, this energy of the revolutionary, you know, basically reflects the phase of our collective evolution as humans, where we maybe gain power and some authority within society and culture, but now we're dissatisfied with just that. We want to express our individuality and uniqueness and express our own individual ideas and see those visions played out in humanity as something that helps and benefits humanity as a collective and as a whole. This is why, you know, I brought up people like Elon Musk and Albert Einstein and Steve Jobs inventing things that are good for the collective good is Aquarius energy. So this Aquarius energy is looking at culture and society, and it's in a constant state of flux. The fact that Aquarius is in Aries right between the lunar nodes reflects being on the fence. The universal mind, our unique individual genius, is on the fence right between the South Node karmic past that we need to let go and our evolutionary path, North Node Cancer. So this genius will be manifested, will be expressed once that is resolved. And this in between the fence energy of Aquarius, of Uranus, the universal mind, our creative genius, you know, basically think of like when your mind, Mercury, lower octave, tunes into the universal mind, to the source, it downloads and channels that knowledge, that genius, those things that, you know, people that invent these innovations for society and culture as a whole, you know, those moments of genius that they have, those are those moments of them channeling, you know, these intuitive flashes of knowledge from the universal mind. They're tapping into that one mind. This is Aquarius energy. This is how Aquarius is correlated to Uranus. So in order for Aquarius energy to channel that Uranus energy, right now Uranus is, like I said, in between the fence of it's our past as a collective and our future as a collective, our evolution as a collective. So to manifest, to express this inner genius, you know, as expressed in this Aries energy, we have to resolve this. We have to let go of our past. So seeking domination and power over others and our resources, you know, and a more patriarchal way of controlling and dominating, we need to learn to let go of that as a collective and orientate ourselves more towards this Cancer moon orientation of, you know, using our feelings, our intuitions, to tune into nature, to tune into our feelings and our heart center to guide us, to orientate us. And this is, you know, in my opinion, in my interpretation, just intuitively, you know, highlighting this shift from the patriarchal, more objective, you know, this is how we do things, this is how, you know, we should do things, this is the customs, the norms, and more, you know, orientating ourselves towards, you know, just being more about our tribe and our family, and more about community and just taking care of each other and ourselves, you know, less like busy work, but, you know, more tribe, village, soul fam, you know, Cancer moon energy. So that's generally what that energy to me means. Uranus, again, being in between these two, I think reflects that our creative ideas will manifest when we resolve this. So the new ideas, I think, that are relevant to progressing humanity in the future, i.e. Aquarius energy channeled, will have to, in my opinion, from what it looks like in the planets, like, will have to look like, you know, a letting go of trying to control and dominate resources and others, and more taking care of the planet, nature, you know, our families, our communities, the family, the children, I don't know, just ourselves, you know, that inner child, that sensitive spot, that feminine, maternal, you know, childlike polarity within us. That, tuning into that seems to be like the evolutionary path, and the way that Aquarius energy will be channeled, and we'll be able to channel this genius from the universal mind. Because I think, you know, collective evolution desires humanity and the collectives to more orientate itself towards the family, towards, you know, nature, towards our feelings, or towards our heart center, as opposed to like more, you know, ambitious, you know, worldly material gains and goods. So, okay, so the camera turned off on me at a certain point there, and then it got all dark, so I had to pop out my light, get a jacket, it's kind of cold. So yeah, I just want to finish off this reading, you know. I think I was pretty much at the tail end of it, and I just wanted to give an outro, and I think that was going to be it. So yeah, if you like this video, if you enjoyed it, please go ahead and like it. If you're into this type of content, I will be producing more. I took a week off last week, the week of the 20th of January. Emotional crisis, doing a lot of my own purging. This emotional fucking total lunar eclipse was for real, like so deep, so real. But anyways, yeah, producing more videos in this next coming year. So if you're into this type of videos, I'll be exploring new ways of doing this. So if you got any suggestions, let me know. Or any comments or feedback or critiques, all welcome in the comments below. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.